everyone, welcome to Learning Literature with Purba. In the last video, we discussed the detailed summary of Murder in the Cathedral by T.S.Eliot. In this video, we are going to discuss the famous temptation scene of the play Murder in the Cathedral and critically analyze it. Now it is the most important scene in the play, therefore this video will definitely help you a lot. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, then do subscribe to it and hit the bell icon so that you never miss an update. Now the temptation scene or the tempter scene takes place in part 1 of Murder in the Cathedral. After Archbishop Thomas Becket returns to England after 7 years of exile, 4 tempters come to tempt him. Now these 4 tempters can be seen as 4 aspects of Becket's personality. The first tempter calls Becket Old Tom Becket of London and reminds him of the time when Becket was friends with the king. Becket was known for his good living. Becket tells the tempter that he reminds him of past seasons, and in the life of a man, never the same time returns. The tempter tells Becket to choose a comfortable life and forget all about martyrdom. So we can see that the tempter is trying to take Becket away from God. Becket responds by saying that the tempter comes 20 years too late. So we can see that the first temptation or the first tempter is no temptation for Becket. He could easily dismiss it. The second tempter provides a brief historical context for the central conflict between the king and Becket, representing the state and the church. The second tempter reminds Becket of the time when he was chancellor to the king. That was a time when Becket enjoyed political powers. The second tempter tells Becket to join hands with the King of England against England's enemies at home and abroad. Becket dismisses the tempter by saying, "Why should I descend to desire a smaller power by choosing to serve the king instead of choosing to serve God?" This response of Becket shows that he has spiritual pride. The third tempter is the representative of the barons. He tempts Becket by saying that because Becket's friendship with King Henry II cannot be mended, Becket should form new alliances. The third tempter further says that the king in England is not all powerful. His French link with his wife makes him susceptible to his sons stealing his kingdom. So the third tempter tells Becket that if Becket comes to their side, then they can together put an end to the king's tyranny. Becket dismisses the third tempter by saying, "No one shall say I betrayed a king." The third tempter leaves saying that he hopes the king acknowledges Becket's loyalty for him. After the third tempter leaves, Becket says that this thought of breaking the power of the king had crossed his mind, but he had rejected it because Becket dearly loved the king and trusted God. The fourth tempter is totally unexpected. He is the most frightening of all the tempters. The first 3 temptations were actually no challenge for Becket. He could easily dismiss them. The fourth tempter tempts Becket about his spiritual pride. He tells Becket that by choosing an eternal power that is God over the temporal power that is king, Becket has taken a clever decision. Because when the king will be dead, there will be another king. But martyr or saint will keep on ruling from the tomb. So by deciding to become a martyr, Becket has taken a wise decision. Because there will be long lines of pilgrims waiting to see Becket's tomb after his death. Now Becket feels very uneasy by listening to the tempter because Becket admits having these thoughts. So Becket exclaims, "Who are you tempting me with my own desires?" Now the purpose of the fourth tempter is to destroy the faith of Thomas Becket. His goal is achieved if Becket surrenders to despair or aspires to pride. In fact, Becket comes close to despair when he says, "Is there no way in my soul's sickness does not lead to damnation in pride?" So now Becket has to overcome this fourth temptation. After the fourth tempter leaves, Becket feels very uneasy. He is almost getting absorbed into the abyss of despair. So now Becket has to learn the true meaning of martyrdom. He has to learn that if one surrenders to God's will, there will be no despair or pride. After the fourth tempter leaves, Becket remains silent while the chorus speaks. This shows the inner conflict of Becket. Becket is unable to talk because he is going through immense inner conflict and suffering. And through this silence, he overcomes the fourth temptation, which is spiritual pride. Had this process not taken place, Becket's death or martyrdom would have looked like suicide of a mad person. But only because Becket goes through this inner conflict and suffering that he is able to understand the true meaning of martyrdom. Becket speaks after a long time. Now he understands the true meaning of life. He knows that no more temptation can take away the peace and understanding that he now has. He says, "The last temptation is the greatest treason, to do the right thing for the wrong reason." He was doing the right thing, that of becoming a martyr, but for the wrong reason, which is spiritual pride. Now Becket's attitude is completely different. He has completely surrendered himself to God's will and sees his death as being in God's hand. He says, "I shall no longer act or suffer." He is ready to face death when it comes, as it is part of God's plan. As soon as Becket surrenders himself to God's will, there is no place for spiritual pride. So he ultimately does the right thing for the right reason and becomes Saint Thomas after becoming a martyr. So that's it for today's video. I hope you found this explanation helpful. If you found the video helpful, then do like it and share with your friends. I'll be back next week with a brand new video on a literary work. Now you can also become a member of my channel Learning Literature with Purba. You can see the video right after clicking the join button and know about all the perks and features that members of Learning Literature with Purba are going to get. In this video, I am also going to do a learner's shout out to my new member Abhishek Thakkar, who has signed up for the learner membership of Learning Literature with Purba. So do check out the video, and if possible, then become a member of my channel to enjoy exclusive perks and features. Stay tuned to Learning Literature with Purba and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.